Is Fort Worth really a city you should consider moving to? In this video, I'm sharing why Fort Worth is the fastest growing city in Texas. I'm Keela McGraw, your favorite Dallas-Fort Worth realtor, and I've helped a lot of people relocate to the area. Since I moved from Oklahoma to Fort Worth in 1995, I've seen a lot of changes in the city of Fort Worth. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have noticed these changes as well, because we get contacted a lot about people who want to know more about the city of Fort Worth. According to the Texas Demographic Center, Fort Worth's population grew more than any other city in Texas between January 2020 to January 2023. The Texas Demographic Center stated that Fort Worth gained 48,542 new residents in that time period. What's interesting is Dallas's population has actually decreased, which I shared in a different video that you can check out here. But when you think about the larger metropolitan areas in Texas, like your Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, this number is quite impressive that Fort Worth is gaining in their population. So what's causing more and more people to move to Fort Worth? Well, there are several reasons, and one of those reasons is because of Fort Worth's job opportunities. I was just talking to a young lady that was interested in moving from Tennessee to Fort Worth, and a lot of our conversation was surrounded by the job opportunities and employment opportunities here in Fort Worth. And to be honest, I hear that a lot. Economists are saying that Fort Worth's job market remains exceptionally resilient. The Fort Worth and Arlington area added 34,100 jobs in October. That is significant. That's actually 2.8% more than this same time last year. Employment across the state actually decreased during that same time period by 1,300 jobs. So I would say that these numbers are pretty much what I'm seeing also when it comes to looking at different jobs in Fort Worth through Indeed and other platforms that post jobs. You do see an abundance of opportunities in the market for various types of employers. Some of the job sectors that are available in Fort Worth include transportation and warehousing, healthcare, government, retail trade, manufacturing, hospitality, and tech jobs. So regardless of your area of expertise or interest, Fort Worth will have plenty of opportunities for you. Another reason that a lot of people are attracted to living in Fort Worth is its low cost of living. The cost of living in Fort Worth is great compared to other cities of similar size across the country, and specifically other cities here in Texas. According to payscale.com, the cost of living in Fort Worth is actually 5% lower than the national average. Groceries are 7% lower, and I can definitely attest to that by going to the grocery store and seeing prices compared to my home state, even in Oklahoma, where surprisingly the groceries are a little bit higher in Oklahoma compared to Texas. And another big cost that families and individuals take into consideration is healthcare costs. And the healthcare cost in Fort Worth is actually 13% lower than the national average. Those are two exceptional factors that do impact people's attraction to a city, and Fort Worth's numbers definitely look very attractive to individuals who are looking to have a lower cost of living where they decide to live. Another reason why people are moving to Fort Worth is because of housing cost. Housing cost is lower in Fort Worth, and not just compared to just the DFW in general. The Fort Worth housing market is thriving, but you can get a lot more for your money in Fort Worth versus Dallas. The median sales price for a home in Fort Worth in December of 2023 was $334,425. In DFW, the median sales price of a home is $365,000. So that is about a $30,000 difference between a home in Dallas versus a home in Fort Worth. And if you're anything like me, $30,000 can go a long way in savings. These numbers are not surprising because historically it has been less expensive to purchase a home in Fort Worth versus the DFW Metroplex. So these numbers are not surprising to me at all. Nationwide, the median sales price of a home is $382,000. So you can see the comparison between within DFW as well as across the nation. So you're probably wondering, what will $334,000 get me as far as housing in Fort Worth? That will get you a nice 3, maybe 4 bedroom home with 2 bathrooms, usually between 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. Now, Fort Worth does have a variety of housing options. They have condos just sprinkled throughout the city. They have condos downtown, but they also have some in surrounding areas within Fort Worth. There are also townhomes and single-family detached homes. So quite a variety when it comes to the type of housing that is available. There's also a nice range when it comes to pricing of homes in Fort Worth. You have anything from like $200,000 all the way up to the multi-million-dollar price range. So no matter what your budget is, I'm sure you're able to find some great housing options in Fort Worth. Another great thing about purchasing a home in Fort Worth is that you have some options as far as older, more established neighborhoods such as Fairmont, Crestline, Arlington Heights, and Westcliff. But you also have new construction options in Fort Worth. So neighborhoods that are master plan communities such as Walsh, Tavallo, and Ventana, just to name a few. Another reason people are flocking to Fort Worth is because of the culture and the various things that Fort Worth has for people to do. Some cities just don't have a vibe or a culture feel to it. A lot of larger cities feel like concrete jungles. Well, you definitely do not get that in Fort Worth. Fort Worth has a vibe that attracts people to it. So most times when you see Fort Worth, especially on TV, the first thing they're going to show are the Fort Worth stockyards. And this definitely embodies Western cowboy culture. The Fort Worth herd is the world's only twice daily longhorn cattle drive. And it's held every day at 11:30 a.m. and 4 p.m., depending on if the weather is okay. In the summer, sometimes it's too hot and they may not do it twice a day. And likewise in the winter, if the temperatures are too cold, they don't do it every single day. And the Fort Worth Stockyards is just that place that you definitely want to go visit if you are anywhere near Fort Worth. They've really built out the Fort Worth Stockyards over the years. My first time there in 1995 looks quite different than it does right now. So they have different events. There are a ton of restaurants. They have a hotel down there. It's really a great experience, and you do kind of feel like you're going back in time with a little edge of swankiness in certain parts. So it's a nice mix. You definitely need to experience it. Another thing that adds to the vibe of Fort Worth is the Cultural District. In the Fort Worth Cultural District, you can walk to 6 world-class museums, and they are all in this park-like setting. You have the Amon Carter Museum, the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History, Kimball Art Museum, the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth, National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame, and the Cattle Raisers Museum. So Fort Worth is just rich in culture. And these museums are just a tip of the iceberg of what Fort Worth has to offer when it comes to the arts. Just down the way from those museums, you have the Fort Worth Botanic Gardens. And the Fort Worth Botanic Gardens was established in 1934, and it's actually the oldest botanic garden in the state of Texas. You'll see a lot of people taking wedding photos and engagement photos there. It's beautiful. They have several gardens in the Botanic Gardens, as well as an event center where you can rent out rooms if you have different things going on. Another fun thing to do in Fort Worth is to visit the Fort Worth Zoo. And the Fort Worth Zoo has actually been ranked as the #4 zoo in the nation, according to USA Today. I've been to the zoo plenty of times, not just as a previous student of TCU, but also when I was teaching in Fort Worth Independent School District. Of course, you have to take the kids to the zoo. And now that I have my own children, we definitely go to the zoo yearly. Another cool thing about Fort Worth is that it does have festivals. And one of my favorites is the Main Street Fort Worth Arts Festival, which is held annually every April in downtown Fort Worth. It's a great opportunity to support local artists, and a lot of local artists do participate in this arts festival. So you get to get art, jewelry, all kinds of cool things. Of course, they have bands that are playing there as well. So it's just a fun time for the family, and usually the weather cooperates. I like that it is in April, where it's not too hot or too cold. And actually, this festival is ranked as the #3 fine art event in the US, according to Art Fair Source Book. event.com. Another semi-new addition to Fort Worth is Dickies Arena. And Dickies Arena opened in 2019. It seats 14,000 people and you can go there for a variety of events. They have concerts, comedy shows. The facility does attract a lot of big name artists, and so it's great to go there. Parking is fairly simple, and the fact that it was just built in 2019 means that it still has that new feel to it. And like I said, they do have concerts there, sporting events as well. So Dickies Arena definitely has been a nice addition to Fort Worth. If car racing is your thing, we do have the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth. It's in the northern section of Fort Worth. Of course, any kind of speedway is going to bring a ton of traffic. So we all know to plan around the raceway events, because if you are up there, it's going to be crazy. But Texas Motor Speedway has been there for a while, and it's a great attraction if that is your thing. And literally tens of thousands of people come to that event and they camp out. It really is a kind of cool sight to see. And of course, I cannot forget about the Horned Frogs. Texas Christian University is located in Fort Worth. And so it is a smaller university, but still thousands of students attend Texas Christian University. I was one of them. And Fort Worth is a college town, and TCU is definitely the dominant university in Fort Worth. Okay, I might be biased. But yes, you will see purple painted throughout the city during different events that are going on with the university. And you know, the Horned Frogs did make it to the national championship in football a couple of years ago, so there's that. Another great thing about the city of Fort Worth that may be attracting people to it is its food scene. Fort Worth is just a great city for foodies. Texas in general is known for its Tex-Mex as well as its barbecue, and Fort Worth provides both of those cuisines plus so much more. We actually have restaurants in Fort Worth that received the 2023 James Beard Award nominations. If food is your thing, Fort Worth does not disappoint. Another reason why people consider Fort Worth as a great place to live is because of its great shopping options. You have the Shops at Clear Fork, which features some upscale as well as mainstream restaurant and shopping options. You have luxury boutiques such as Burberry, Tiffany & Co., Gucci, Louis Vuitton. There's also an AMC movie theater there. Pinstripes, which is a bowling and event center. So just really a nice variety just to spend a weekend there. I even meet clients there sometimes. Another great shopping option in Fort Worth is University Park Village. Now that is an outdoor shopping center, but it does have over 30 stores. You have Ann Taylor, the Apple store is there. Anthropologie, Pottery Barn, J. Crew, and Williams and Sonoma are some of the stores that you can find in University Park Village. And if you are a bargain shopper, there is the Tanger Outlet Mall, which is located in northern Fort Worth. You have shops like Aldo, Adidas, Banana Republic Factory, Kohan, Express, Lululemon, Nike, and then they also have a Restoration Hardware outlet, which I like to frequent myself. So a variety of shopping options depending on your preference. One more reason why people may be flocking to Fort Worth is its Southern hospitality. That is one of the things that drew me to Texas Christian University all those years ago, is when I came to visit the university, the people were friendly. When we went to restaurants, everyone greeted each other, people held the door open for you. So it was just a nice feeling quite refreshing actually, to be in a city and a state, honestly, that was as friendly as the people were here. So you do experience that true Southern hospitality when you are in Fort Worth. And when we're working with clients that are coming from either coast in the US and they come here, and one of the things that they always say is that, are the people really this friendly all the time? And I have to tell them, yes, I have not had any crazy road rage or anything crazy happen to me. So yes, it is refreshing, and I can attest to Southern hospitality is alive and well in Fort Worth. Do you have questions about living in Fort Worth or anywhere in DFW? Give me a call, text, or email, and I'll see you in the next video.